Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the show. It is the Arena and I'm Samson Oluyede. It is the midweek edition and I can rest assured we'll be talking tennis as well on the show. But definitely we have to start with football, which is the opium of the society, and we're starting from home, talking about Nigerian football. The WAFU B on the 17 tournament is ongoing right now in Cape Coast, Ghana, and we have the Super Eaglets, as they are known or as they are called, in action as well. Yesterday they took on their junior Sparrowhawks, talking about the Togolese on the 17 team, and that ended 3-1 in favor of the Super Eaglets, or the Golden Eaglets, I beg your pardon. I say Super, the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria. 3-1 that ended, took a comfortable 2-0 lead before the deficit was halved by Togo, courtesy of that superb free kick. But you had, the 2-goal lead restored to ensure that the Super Eagles of, the Golden Eaglets rather, the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria won their second match when it comes to the group. And it must be said, this is an impressive win. Over the course of 2 games, they've scored 7 goals and conceded 3, following their 4-2 victory over Ghana in their opening series. Now, as a result of their victory against Togo, they've also booked their place in the semi-final of the ongoing WAFU B under 17 competition. For the Golden Eaglets, they are just one more win away from the final when it comes to the WAFU B under 17 tournament. Remember, there are 2 tickets at stake from this zone when it comes to the African under 17 Cup of Nations. So the Golden Eaglets need to win their semi-final contest, and once they book their place in the final, they would have also booked a place for the African Cup of Nations under 17 tournament that will be taking place next year. For Coach Nduka Ogbade, you have to give him credit for what he has done over the last 8 to 10 weeks. It was a short period of time for him, to assemble this team, and he has done that in a fantastic fashion. About 5,000 players started the journey, and those were pruned to 25, which we are seeing right about now in Ghana. Impressive, it must be said. And you have a certain name that is ringing bells right about now when it comes to the Golden Eaglets. One to watch out for, not just for the Golden Eaglets, but Flying Eagles as well as the Super Eagles in the future. And that's Emmanuel Michael. Emmanuel Michael won a second successive Player of the Match award yesterday. It was the Player of the Match. He won the Player of the Match award rather against Ghana in the opening game, which we won by 4 goals to 2. He also won the Player of the Match award yesterday following the 3-1 win over Togo, and he's a player of Moses Simon Academy. Yes, the same Moses Simon that plays for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. He is a product of the academy from Moses Simon. So good lads here. You want to see Kevu Iyede got the opening goal. You have Precious Williams scoring the second goal for the Golden Eaglets yesterday, which is the second when it comes to the tournament, having scored in the opening game against Ghana. And you have Light Ike rather, also getting his second goal of the tournament. He rounded up scoring for the Golden Eaglets against Togo. So 2 wins out of 2. Coach Nduka Ogbade's men are definitely on a roll right about now. They need to win their semi-final clash to book a place in the final of the WAFU B under 17 tournament, as well as the African Cup of Nations 2023. Now let's move away from there and turn our attentions to European football. It's all about the UEFA Nations League that is ongoing. And the 3 Lions, wow, are they really lions at this point, or cats as it were? They failed to rout against Hungary, suffering a humiliating 4-0 loss right there at the Molineux Stadium. The Molineux is the stadium for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and England just couldn't rout there as the 3 Lions stumbled to a 4-0 loss in the hands of Hungary. It is their second successive loss to their opponents, having suffered a 1-0 shocker also about 10 days ago. So over the course of 2 legs, England couldn't beat the so-called whipping boys of the team. They lost 5-0 on aggregate, and the woes were compounded by John Stones, who got sent off later on for the 3 Lions of England. And what's probably more worrisome is that they are threatened by relegation from the League A to the League B when it comes to the UEFA Nations League. And Gareth Southgate has his hands full in terms of getting the best out of his players just ahead of the Global Mondial, which is about 5 months from now, talking about the World Cup in Qatar. So England definitely having their hands full. Remember, they will be taking on Wales, they will be taking on USA as well as Iran in that group. So talking about their World Cup group. They have so much to do. Let's see if Gareth Southgate can get it done. But for Hungary, it's quite an impressive win. Salah got a brace in there. You had Gazgard also get a goal for them. And the win propelled them to the top of the standings. Again, that's a shocker considering in that same group you have Germany, you have Italy, you have England. You won't expect that after 4 games, it is the Hungarians who are topping the table. But that's the reality of this moment. After 4 games, Hungary tops with 7 points. You have Germany with 5 points. You have Italy with 4 points. And England, staring relegation in their faces, have 2 points from 4 games, having drawn 2 and lost 2. Let's move on from there now and talk about their opponents, still within the same group. Germany against Italy. It was meant to be a clash of the titans on paper, but over the course of 90 minutes, it was the Germans who ran riot, humiliating the Italians. That's the European champions. 5-2 that ended. It was a 5-0 rout at some point before there was a bit of respect, restored in terms of the scoreline by the Italians. You had Joshua Kimmich of Bayern Munich, starting the goal affair for Germany, scoring early on within the first 11 minutes. And you had Ilkay Gundogan getting the second goal there from the spot, while Thomas Muller got a goal for himself as well, while Chelsea's Timo Werner was able to get a brace to wrap it up in terms of the 5-0 scoreline before Italy put a bit of respect to it. Nato as well as Bastoni getting the goals for the Italians. 5-2 that ended for the Germans. It's a very good way to get back to winning ways. And for the Italians, after playing a 1-1 draw in the reverse fixture, this is definitely a disappointing loss for them. But they're still in the running to finish among the top 2 teams and possibly even top 10. They're just 3 points behind table toppers Hungary and 2 points behind the Germans, who are in second position at this point in time. So 5-2 that ended, the Germans earning a famous win over the European champions in that regard. Moving on from there, let's talk about another UEFA Nations League match we saw yesterday. It was a 5-goal thriller, and Barcelona's Memphis Depay had a final say with virtually the last kick of the match. 3-2 Netherlands against Wales that ended with the Dutch national team, the Orange as they are called, getting the important win for them. The win catapults them to the top of the table. That 10 points. They have 10 points from 4 games, and are 3 points clear of Belgium, who defeated Poland by a lone goal in the other match. So it's Netherlands with 10 points, Belgium with 7. We have Poland with 4. And Wales with a solitary point. For Wales, they are also staring relegation in the face, talking about League A Group 4. If they end up being relegated, they will be relegated to League B. For the Dutch national team, it was quite an impressive performance as well, although they squandered a 2-goal lead to concede a 92nd minute equalizer from Gareth Bale's penalty to make it 2-2. But Memphis Depay had the final say in the game and it made it count. So Louis van Gaal's men are still on track in terms of getting back to their best. And what a build-up it is going into the World Cup, which, as I've said earlier, is just about 5 months away. Let's see how that pans out. Still talking about matches that took place yesterday. While reviewing matches, there was the big one. That's the Interconfederation World Cup playoff. And you had Costa Rica on one hand, you had New Zealand on the other hand. It was winner takes it all, talking about booking a place to the Qatar 2022 World Cup. It was Costa Rica edging that by a lone goal to book their place in Qatar. And it's former Arsenal striker Joel Campbell who scored the goal within the first 3 minutes of the match to hand Costa Rica their own World Cup ticket at the expense of New Zealand. And what an emotional win it is for Costa Rica. Talking about Costa Rica, as a result of their win that into the World Cup, and they will be playing in Group E. There you have the groups, the final groups. So they will be playing in Group E against Spain, Germany, and Japan. That's a very tough group for them, really. But that's the reward they get when it comes to defeating New Zealand in the playoffs. So it's Costa Rica, Spain, Germany, Japan in Group E. And talking about the reward, it's not just about having their opponents in terms of Spain, Germany, and Japan. The Costa Rican national team, as a result of their win, they've also earned $12 million, or euros, I beg your pardon, 12 million euros, as a result of that win in terms of booking their place. Now, this is it. FIFA gives every participating team 2 million euros to prepare for the World Cup, and you get 10 million euros for participating at the World Cup. So lots of money to go around. And why am I saying euros? Again, apologies, it's dollars rather. $2 million to prepare for the World Cup and $10 million for participating at the group stages of the World Cup. So $12 million in total for Costa Rica. And who says they can earn more? For a small nation like Costa Rica, that will go a long way in building their football infrastructure. So you can rest assured that the monetary value that comes with, winning a ticket to the World Cup is definitely immense for small footballing countries like Costa Rica. Talking about, the World Cup itself, you are rest assured that it's a $700 million, prize money or pot, if you want to call it that, with the winners of the World Cup going on with $50 million, and that's a $12 million improvement from what the last winners went home with. Remember, France won the 2018 World Cup and went home with $38 million. This time around, whoever wins in Qatar will be going home with a whopping $50 million. There's so much money at stake, and it's football. FIFA as well will be giving $209 million to various clubs for releasing their players to the World Cup, not forgetting about $129 million as a result of insurance benefits. So much money to go around, courtesy of the Qatar 2022 World Cup.